Hey YouTube, it's 3D for Life, and we're back with our final video. This is part 8 of the $120 Ender 3 Pro video series. I want to take a moment to thank all of you guys for watching. For all of you that have subscribed and liked the videos, thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. For any of you that haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more content coming. I'm going to start vlogging. I've got to do some DIY projects. I've already got some videos coming up on some updated 3D printer stuff, and I've got a little bit of fun coming, something to play with that I'm going to be making some videos with. Should be really cool to make videos with. So without further ado, let's get to the finale of this build video right after this. Hey YouTube, and we're back to go ahead and continue and finish up in the last part of our video, this printer. So, something we didn't go over last time is my belt for my bed is very loose, and it's actually, when it got dropped, obviously is I think what happened in the package, is this is all raised up and cockeyed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loosen up this belt assembly, and we're going to go ahead and straighten it up, and we're going to go ahead and tension our belt correctly, because you can see I've got a lot of slop in this belt. So we're going to do that before we go any further on anything with this printer. So I've got it lowered down now. I've got the belt pretty tight. I'll go ahead and tighten these bolts down now. So I like to tighten these in a crisscross pattern, since it has to do with this bottom bed. So I'll just hold tension on this tensioner, pull back against it, and tighten one corner on one side, back corner on one side, and then front corner on the other side, and then I'll go vice versa to make sure that it's all being held hopefully the same on all 4 bolts, instead of just over tightening or over torquing 1 or 2 of the bolts. And now that I've got it all in there, I'll go ahead and torque these down just a little bit. Belt's nice and tight now. So the next thing I need to do is I need to level the bed of my printer. Now I did go ahead and change the springs to the yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten these bed adjustments all the way down, because we want to fully compress our springs. You want to do this whether you have yellow springs or your stock springs or whatever springs you have. You want to go ahead and tighten them all the way down, get them tight, and then adjust them loose from there to level your bed. So get these all tightened down, and you just go snug, go till they have some resistance when you're spinning them. You know, you don't need to go crazy with them. Try to adjust them all about the same, because that'll help you when you go to level everything. And I also already have a G-code into my SD card that I got off Thingiverse. I'll go ahead and link that down in the description of this video. That will help you guys to level your printer. It's just a G-code. You just pull it off Thingiverse. I just installed it right from the... I downloaded it right off Thingiverse, put it right onto my SD card. I'm going to put it right in my printer, and I'll be able to test my level right from there. So now that I've done that, I'll go ahead and insert my SD card. And I'm also going to go ahead and preheat everything. So I'm going to go to Prepare. I'm going to go to Preheat PLA and Preheat PLA. And now's the moment of truth where we'll see if our hot end and our bed heats up as well. So right after we see if these are preheated, I'll be right back with the video. Okay guys, now our bed is heated up, our hot end is heated up, so now I'm going to go ahead and access my SD card that's in the printer. So I'm going to go down to initialize TF card, and then I'm going to go to print from TF card, and then I'm going to go to my leveler G code that I've downloaded from Thingiverse, and again I'll be putting that down in the description of this video. So that is actually going to increase my temperatures. So it preheated to 185 on the hot end and 45 on the bed, and according to this G code it should be 200 on the hot end and 60 on the bed. So we are at temperature, guys, so now the printer is starting to run and we see that our stop already worked on our x-axis that I had to repair by putting a little piece in there. So once this lowers down, all I have is just a little rip of a piece of paper. I'm just using a plain piece of copy paper. One of the best things I can suggest to you guys is go get a little stack of Post-it notes, because you can tear one off, level your printer, throw it away, and or you can look into a BL Touch. That'll be linked down in the description as well. My other printer has a BL Touch on it, and then in the near future this will have a BL Touch as well. I'm a firm believer in auto leveling, just because you don't have to deal with leveling your printer via springs. So what this G code is going to do is this is going to go to each corner, and it's going to stop and pause and wait for me to check it with my paper, and then on my screen it actually says click to resume. So I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to go down here, and I can already tell that I'm way too close because I can't even fit a piece of paper under here. So I'm going to go ahead and snug this up. So I can tell I'm way too close in that corner. We'll go ahead and go to the next corner. Way too close again, so I definitely think there might be something the matter with this printer. So we'll go to the next spot. Or it could be that I just need to move my Z-stop, so we'll try that next. Way too close. So we're just going to abort through all this because this is just doing nothing. So either this printer bed is totally out of whack from being dropped, or something else is going on here. Way too tight. It's going to go around to all my corners again. We're just going to skip through it all. And each time we'll have to push OK to resume to go on to the next spot. It's actually flexing the bed. And like I said, that could just be that the bed is bowed from being dropped. So now it's done. So our steppers should be disabled now, and they're not. So we'll go ahead and go in and go to prepare and go to disable steppers. And now we'll raise up our carriage. And now that we've got that raised up, the first thing I'm going to do to troubleshoot is raise my Z-stop. Some printers you have to raise your Z-stop if you change to the yellow bed springs. Some printers you don't. On my old printer that's upstairs, I did not have to adjust the E-stop at all to be able to run yellow bed springs. So we'll see if that's the same case with this. So right now I'm just going to hold it in place, and I'm just going to spin this and go down till it clicks it. And I'm going to pull my bed around. And it actually looks like I should be okay. So I'm just going to make sure that my M-lock nuts are positioned correctly to hold. And we're going to tighten them down. We're going to tighten just the bottom one first. Looks like that one's going to hold. We're going to tighten the top one. Okay, that one's got to hold. So now we're just going to go ahead and run the same G-code. We're going to go to print from TF and go to leveler. And now it's going to have to heat everything back up again. So guys, after a lot of trial and error, what I ended up doing to get the bed to work and at least get this printer to function was I had to ditch the yellow bed springs and I had to go back to stock. I did go ahead and move the Z-stop back to the factory position because there was just no possible way to get it to work with the yellow bed springs. So as you can see, it's printing. I'll bring the camera over here and do a close-up and then we'll go on from there. So as you guys can see, it is printing. So there are definitely issues with this bed. Man, you guys can see right here where it was pushing down into the corner so hard when I was trying to level it with those yellow bed springs. And no matter what I did to try and move this Z-stop to help aid with having those yellow bed springs, it wouldn't matter. So this bed definitely has an issue. Either this bed or the carriage is definitely tweaked. So that's something I'll have to, check out here in the future. I just wanted to mainly see if I could get this thing printing tonight. So that about wraps it up. So I'd say for $120, I made out okay. Definitely gonna have to look more into this bed situation. Gonna have to look at that, look into the carriage, see about getting something fixed. Like I said, I do plan on putting auto leveling on here. So I guess it's not really that huge a deal, but auto leveling is only going to help for a few millimeters, even once your bed is solid mounted. So if this thing is just completely out of whack and tweaked, it's not going to really do me very much good. So I'll probably go ahead and look at replacing the carriage and replacing the aluminum bed as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys have maybe learned something through all this. I hope you've had a little bit of fun. I know I'm pretty excited that I only have $120 wrapped up in this Ender 3 Pro. So until next time, you guys keep it easy. Keep on